Just fucking do it. Subscribe now.
So can you tell us a story about, if I remember his name correctly, Charlie? Somebody that
Charlie, the CFO?
The one who
CFO
died when he was
in the
working
saddle.
for you. Yeah, what's happened? I mean, I just want to make sure I don't drive any of my employees to death or...
But Charlie was a partner at PwC, and he left PwC to be my CFO. He was an All-American athlete, football player at University of Texas, 5% body fat. I mean, you looked at him and he lived to 100, maybe, but he didn't. He went to sleep in my guest room and never woke up at 40. When he died, we had to hire 5 people to replace him. 5.
What was the real...
Yeah, he did. Yeah, exact.
What was the reason? I mean...
He loved getting away from PwC as a partner because he wasn't getting paid anywhere near what he could do, i.e., he was 5. We had over 18 months. We had to hire 5 people to replace what he did, and he was 24/7, 365. He was responsible. He found the Bow Valley deal. He was a working motherfucker, and I haven't found anybody like that since then or before then. He just, he thought I was a god as well as many others, and he didn't know how to say no. He didn't know how to give up, and we did some spectacular deals while he was alive. And based on the information that he gave us, even after he was dead, we did some spectacular deals. But he was, a cowboy by nature, a Texas kid who just worked his balls off. You can't hardly find anybody like that anymore. You just can't. It transcended him being an All-American athlete. He just didn't know how to fail. It was not in his vocabulary. And you can't find people like that anymore. You just can't. Now it takes 4 or 5 people to do the job he did. Some of you, CFO, you have a VP of finance, a controller. For a company less than $25 million in revenue, if you can't do it with just a CFO, your CFO is a cunt. You don't need VPs. Everything. You don't need VP of finance. You don't need controllers. You don't need all this shit.
You don't need a COO?
COO is different than CFO. But I mean, now the workload is significantly different. Because of expectations, you don't expect these guys to perform. And that's your fault. Shame on you. But now we've got a generation and a half of people that don't work. And see, I won't put up with that. And I fire people, and I'm always in court. And your board will be reluctant, to say the least, to do that because they don't want to be named in a court case. You are getting sued, right? $2 million. Okay.
Over dog food.
Yeah, so that parked on the side of the road, 2 people crashed into each other. The guy who we crashed into didn't have car insurance, so now the cop's supposed to ask him, well, what are you doing here? He mentioned my company name, but now they sent me a letter. They sued me for $2 million.
So $50 million in revenue. You need a CFO, a COO, and you can be the CEO.
No, in your case, you shouldn't be. No, I'm.
No, you're right. I'm the founder.
No, but
Shoot him straight. Shoot him straight. You need to get straight out of fucking operations and be the visionary and focus on acquisitions only. And let the fucking plebes handle the car washing, and then you can fucking scale it. That's it.
Well, I'm not sure about the scaling part because I'm not cognizant of the car wash market. But I can tell you right now, he should not be in operations.
100%.
I can tell you that. And no, should I? And I wasn't.
Because I'm a cunt.
No, I'm not a cunt. But because you don't know. You don't want to know if the T's weren't crossed.
No, I do want to know.
No, you don't.
I'm a micromanager.
Well, then you're wrong. You should get out. You're never going to be a big guy. You're going to be a little turd and a big pond and a small pond, and that's it. And you like that. You're a little fucking Caesar.
I appreciate it.
Oh, fuck you. You appreciate nothing. No, you're a turd, a little turd. Well, no, I'm not trying to thank you. I'm trying to insult you on purpose.
I appreciate it.
Okay, guys, you don't understand. This is what you don't want to be. I eat these guys for breakfast. He doesn't want to be. You don't want to be where he is. You're going to be not poor, because he's not poor. He's got a few bucks. But compared to Simon, 500 pounds of Simon, he shits more than he makes a month.
When did he come see you?
2014.
Okay. Give me that same.
Well, he was shitting more by 2016.
Bullshit.
Yeah, not bullshit. Not bullshit. As he flies around in his Gulfstream, and you're taking TW, they don't have TWA anymore. Virgin Airlines.
That was 7 years later.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not giving you cock. I hope I never see you again when you leave.
You got to see me tomorrow.
Well, I understand that. After you leave tomorrow. See, he thinks it's a joke. He's got no pressure on him. I would never do this. I could take your business away in 6 months and put you bankrupt.
Do it. I'll do it again.
Okay, well,
Won't stop me.
yeah, well, talk's cheap, kid. Talk's cheap.
Damn right it is.
How do we keep up the pressure on ourselves for years?
You have to keep yourself accountable. You have to do the weekly report. And when you have 57 or 65, I cunted out, that means something. And use the weekly report not on a daily basis with your employees. They'll quit. You won't have to fire them. I guarantee you. They'll fucking quit. There's nobody in here that has held anybody accountable in their whole business career. Nobody. And all the people that you've heard, I didn't pay them to tell lies. Why are all these people thankful to me? They're $10 to $500 million thankful. Thank you, sir. Why?
Because you ran the race with all endurance.
No, well, because I showed them that they could do it.
Right.
You're not the first persons that have been skeptical. Believe me.
You inspired them.
No, I don't like to use those kind of bullshit words. Jason Nagy, who doesn't like anybody, has respect for me. And nobody in this room or any room wants to be accountable.
You awaken that, assholism inside us, really. Awaken that accountability inside us. It's died. It's been died through our parents and the miserable life that we had.
You have it in your loins. Unfortunately, the last 20, 30, 40 years, it's not considered vogue to be a hard ass. And I'm still one of the last Neanderthals that doesn't give a shit about it. But at the end of the day, you still, have some degree, some modicum of you rather be liked and effective. God knows, I've never suffered from that. God knows I never have. And early on when I was dating girls, they didn't understand that, And but nobody understood. The only people that ever understood it a little is when I got in the military, and I thought I was in heaven. Fuck. I mean, I love the beating. I love the accountability. I love the rashness. I loved all that shit. And then a two-star general, Woodrow Vaughn, God love him, he said, a young boy like you could make $1 billion in the civilian world. And I go, duh! And the rest is history. I was out of the military in six months.
So this painting here, I'm just enamored.
That's me.
I know, and I look at it and I go, usually you see a piece of art and you say, you kind of, why you like it, you just kind of quieten your mind. But I just see that guy staring back at me and I go, oh, that's the same guy. What do you see when you see that
painting
picture?
won the International Portrait Painters Award of 1986 as the finest portrait painted in 1986. My ex-wife's painting won second place in 1987. My first wife, God love her, and and so I'm more or less not infamous for that painting. And my dog Driller was there at my side.
How old did your dog live for?
Pardon?
How long did your dog live for? How old was your dog?
A shade under 13, which is old for Great Danes.
Is your dog buried here?
Yeah, correct.
What would the guy in the painting say to you? What would you
Howard
say to that
Morgan,
guy?
one of the famous portrait painters, just died a year or two ago. And I told him, this painting will make you famous. After this, he painted Gorbachev, the Queen, and a bunch of other people. He became extremely famous. But that changed his career. That changed his career.
He's looking at you this whole room. Anywhere in this room, he's looking at you.
And my neighbors, I've never talked to any of my neighbors except one who lives over there. I've lived here 40 years. They're afraid to come here because they're not sure.
All right, Elvis Presley Jr. has something to say. I know, Mr. Peña, you say this is a thankless job time and time again, and I want to personally thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for opening up your home and your wealth of knowledge and information. And I know you don't give a shit if any of us are successful or not, but I want to personally commit to you today that I'm going to put up some fucking numbers for you.
Good.
Some real fucking numbers.
From
Because
your lips to the Allah's ears.
I'm one of those people that have been keeping from you. I'm a world-class salesman, and that's thanks to you. So I want to sincerely thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And those of you that have a modicum of sales skills will find QLA easier. But most of you couldn't sell a blowjob to a drunken sailor. It's obvious to me. And if it's not obvious, well, girls can sell a blowjob a lot easier than guys. But I mean, and virtually everything almost everything you've ever learned, you can flush down the toilet. If you want to create generational wealth and you want to run towards a gunfire, and like you said, there's no competition, right? There's no competition, none, zero. I know that, but I've been preaching that 30 years. But it's hard to believe there's no competition. But there's no competition. There's no competition. There's no, I have 2 or 3 of my mentees that have castles around me, which I put on social media. They've never been here. They own castles around me, but I don't want to see them. If they thought behind a castle around me we were going to buddy up or some shit, they made an error in judgment. But I mean, guys and gal, it's not that hard. That's not that hard. And Raymond, God love him, he made it harder than it needs to be. Yeah, but he's made a lot, and now he's at 25 or 30 or 35 million in EBITDA, which is not the best I have, but considering, I mean, and you put a multiple on it, but I would rather sell a Nelly, 5-year billionaire.
There's a personality type in all of your mentees. There's a certain personality that just kind of trickles in between all of them. I see it. I don't know how to describe it, but I see it and I go, Psycho. Well, maybe, and maybe before. I don't know when it showed up before or after, but there's something about it. That there's some unwritten
Correct.
story. So I mean, it's there. I can't put words to it. But yeah.
Yeah, and
it's something
after
different.
after 30 years, I can't put words to it either. But I know it's there because I see it, and I show it to you guys. As some of the guys die off, and I don't want them to die off, because we have webinars that we've never published. I mean, a few are more psychotic, psychopathic, that aren't well in the head. But of course, I'm accused of that myself. But the bottom line is you can do it. I mean, and you can't dismiss how high a quality of an individual, man or woman, that you can attract to your dream team, if you ask. And if you don't ask, you don't get. And there are people similar to me that will assist you. But if you never call them, you never email or whatever, I don't know about text, 'cause I don't know how to do that, but and you'll be surprised when they say yes. You'll be surprised. Anything else? Stir in the back.
When you die, what do you want written
When I
on your
die.
what do you want written on your gravestone?
Okay, go on.
In the unfortunate event that you do
say
die,
it again. Say it again.
Have you ever thought about that? You might not live either.
Okay, go ahead.
what do you want written on your grave tomb? On your
I've
gravestone?
already written my epitaph, but it's words to the effect that he showed less than average people how to get rich with no money.
If you guys haven't seen, his father's gravestone is over by that little trough, and it says, "Yesterday's dreams are today's reality."
The operative word, less than average.
Yeah, because you don't have to be even average to make a lot of money. All you have to be is persevering. Yeah, and never give up. You've heard it different ways, but never giving up. I never contemplated giving up. And some people say because I wasn't bright enough, although that's not true. But I never even contemplated giving up. I just didn't.
Can't lose if you don't quit.
Correct. Yeah, and that's true. And when you do quit, I mean, the scenario's over. The scenario's over. And we produced not a gazillion, but quite a few high performance people that have created, trillions. Which even the figure trillion is kind of mind-boggling. But I mean, we've seen it. And now, have all the kids that have created all this money done good by humanity? No. I'm not trying to take credit for what they did or they didn't do. But a lot of them have. A lot of them have. And the Sally hit me with a taser.
I do like what you said yesterday. What you said, and I think it was a very good point that you said. You said, "I'm not giving up on you until you give up on me."
Yeah, I don't give up on you.
Thank you. That was cool.
Until you give up on yourself. You saw the little deal about the black PhD Air Force guy. I mean, and Sally knows Alex, Dr. Amar, who, he had a period that the only luck he had was bad. He was like jinxed. 5 years later, he did it. And you would have thought with his background, his education, his stature, didn't mean shit. I mean, the choices he made, and I was the chairman, so I could have stopped him from time to time. But a lot of the stuff you have to learn the hard way. The hard way. And but he finally made it, and now he's running. He would have thought he hadn't spent 5 years pissing in the wind. Because the human nature is, it's easily, even though you may carry these things as baggage, as soon as you have a success, all of a sudden you forget all that, and then you have success after success after success. Not dissimilar to Raymond, who the first deal, 800 days, blah, 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 and now he's done 5, 6 deals. And he will be a billionaire in the next 30 months. He will be,
He's very driven.
yeah. The bald guy, Raymond. Yeah. And of course, Nelly, a billionaire in 5 years. He's not the quickest I've got. He is the quickest that will talk to you. But even if nobody else talks to you, a billionaire in 5 years is not bad. There's only about 24% that's up there. Another 75% that doesn't want to be involved with pictures on the wall until they're dead.
First day of your lives, boys and girls.
Yep, and even if you don't have blue skin and you're from Kentucky.
A fucking Down syndrome guy from Kentucky is gonna beat the fuck out of all of y'all.
Okay, Sally will come next with a lasso on my neck. So, any other last questions, please? Yes, sir.
Dan, Mr. Peña, sorry, my apologies. I was wandering around in the desert in a philosophical sense, not knowing what to do with my life, not knowing how I was going to get there. I was making less than every single one of my friends, less, zero, like I was bottom. And then when I discovered your map, you said government contracts. I saw your video, 20K. I saw your video, 20K. I said, I don't even have 2K. I don't even have 2,000. Now, when people ask me how long I've been doing it, I have to lie because they'll never believe that I have a £40 million business in 4 years because of you. I had zero. I make more than all my friends combined in a month. I live amongst the world champion and elite athletes, and I was fucking nowhere. I come from a fucking council estate. You know, my car, I have my head out the window because the fucking heating fan don't work and you can't clear the screen. And then I started buying companies and... Listen, Mr. Peña, I got to buy my mum a house, fucking £2 million house, £80,000 car. You know, I got a Bentley for myself. And
when you upgrade, you get better cars.
You know, but it's not even about the cars. You know, like 4 years, I was fucking nowhere. And every single person who knows me knows your name. Because I tell them, Dan motherfucking Peña.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Sally. Guys, one gal, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.